Welcome back to the channel. The EPS back. International break is over. It's Arsenal going to the Etihad against Manchester City. Now, let's recap a little bit. Manchester City had that game at Anfield where they struggled. Liverpool dominated, but it's important to note that Manchester City came out with a point. When you look at the recent head-to-head club against Pep, you realize that it was a game that was always going to be tough for Pep Guardiola. However, his team, Manchester City, even though they didn't play well, came out with a point. So that's a positive in my opinion. And Manchester City is going to the Etihad knowing that should they beat Arsenal, they will be in control of their own destiny. Liverpool plays some hours before that game against Brighton. So by the time these two teams face each other, they will know the results. So now, this is what's important for Arsenal going into this game. City will be at the Etihad, so they will look to involve their 12 men as soon as possible. So Arsenal, just like Liverpool, must match the intensity and the work rate of that Manchester City team, because that's the only way you beat Manchester City. So this is what Arsenal must actually do. Now, will Arteta play double pivots, Rice together with Jorginho? Because that will be important to see how it plays. Keep in mind, he will not be at home. Arsenal will not be at home. So this is an away game and they will need that cover. Even though they need that cover, we know Rice is not the type of player to break defensive lines or carry the ball breaking defensive lines. Jorginho is that creative one. So what I expect Arteta to do is to let Kiwo on that left. He will not be inverted. We have not seen Kiwo in that inverted role. So his main duty will be like to go up and down the lines and defend. On the right, Ben White. Periodically, we shall see him in the midfield. However, most of his runs will be overlapping. In the international break, we saw some minor injuries. I'm not sure if Saka will be fit enough to start that game, but it was a muscle scare, nothing that big, so he might just start. As far as Martinelli is concerned, it's up in the air. Arteta has avoided questions on Martinelli, so we don't know. We saw Martinelli on crouches in their last game when they played Brentford, that last-minute winner from Havertz. So it will be a game-time decision. But this is a player that would have been very necessary for Arsenal because he has that speed. Of course, I know he will be playing against Walker. Walker is not a guy that you beat with speed. However, he can always come inward and try to run down the central of the defense, because Manchester City, you look at a team like Manchester City, they have been conceding lots of goals. So it's not the same team of last season. So they are vulnerable in defense. Again, Arsenal, from corner kicks, free kicks, they can actually also exploit this Manchester City team. But this is what I want to tell you about Manchester City. There were two players that had a below par game. Not only two, but these are the players I want to highlight. I want to highlight Rodri. Rodri, he was not in the first game where Arsenal beat Manchester City by 1-0. We do understand that. So he's coming now at the back of a game that he did not perform well. In an international break, we saw him score 2 penalties for Spain. Rodri will be coming into this game with lots of form, confidence in order to play at his best, because they know a win will take them above Arsenal. Should Liverpool win, that will still keep them just 1 point behind Liverpool. If Arsenal wins, on the other hand, that will be 4 points. And if Liverpool also had won, that will be 4 points behind Arsenal and Liverpool. So that's a position I don't think Manchester City wants to be in. But they have to come out and play, because we have seen Arsenal in this calendar year. Arsenal has won all the games, scoring a ton of goals. They beat Manchester City in the away game. They beat Manchester City in the Community Shield. So this is a team that has that belief. They know that they can beat Manchester City. It's feasible even away from home. But as I said, they must match the energy of Manchester City. They must play well in that midfield and don't concede cheap goals. Make Manchester City work for their goals. I know that matchup, Haaland and the two central defenders of Manchester City. I've seen Manchester City win that matchup. Arsenal. I've seen Arsenal defenders, Gabriel and Saliba, win that matchup before. So I expect them to be strong and maybe to win that matchup again. Now, my prediction in this game, I predict that it's gonna be a tie. That's my opinion. So, what are your predictions? Let me know in the comments below, and please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Thanks for watching 19.5 by True Life.